We've been doing this debt series, and which means borrowing for your expenses. So a 40,000 rupee bed will end up costing you 80,000 rupees and about 99 months in which you will repay the whole thing. Now for those 99 months you could have done a lot of things. Let us say that is about 8 years. So every month if you had saved say 250 rupees or 300 rupees, that is about 3,600 into 8, about close to 30,000 rupees is what you would have invested, and it would be worth at least about 56,000 rupees. You could have easily bought a bed. Of course, anybody will tell you that you need the bed at the age of 24 and not at the age of 70 when you're about to leave the bed permanently anyway. No, the purpose is not that. The purpose is to understand that this money has not come free. This money is borrowed from your own personal self, because it's not that they are giving you a gift. You borrowed it against your future earnings. So you have given up your future earnings, and the most important thing is because you paid that extra 40,000 rupees, what that extra 40,000 rupees could have done for you. That's the way to look at it. And that if you had invested at 12% at the age of whatever age, maybe 25, 26 till your age of 60, which means 35, 36 years of compounding, that would be worth a few lakhs, right? That's the power of compounding. So the most important thing that borrowing and buying does is it stops you from investing regularly. You are unable to invest because you are repaying here. And I see people borrowing money at 12% to buy a house, and then when interest rates fall, they are too lazy to renegotiate and they continue to pay at a higher rate, right? When you do these kind of crimes, these are the things which are actually keeping you away from being rich. Of course, there is easy tendency to say, oh, the rich get richer. Obviously, the rich get richer. There is more money compounding for a longer period of time. When a person earns 10 lakhs a year, spends 5 lakhs and invests 5 lakhs, obviously that 5 lakhs is earning well. Now, if a person earns 50 lakhs, spends 5 lakhs and invests 45 lakhs, obviously he is compounding 45 lakhs for a longer period. He can afford to take more fluctuations, which means he takes more risk. And therefore, because of the fact that he took more risk and he lost in some places, his CAGR could be much higher than a person earning less and repaying. And also a person earning say 20 lakhs and not saving anything at all, simply because of the interest that he or she is paying, right? So we see all kind of combination. We all know that there is a value to money having it now and not after 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. I agree, but the road to riches or road not to borrow after 10 years is to invest very heavily now. And the biggest worry about borrowing is it is a big impediment to saving and investing. Because you are repaying the debt, you are unable to save, and because you are unable to save and create a corpus, you are unable to invest. Now, instead of repaying a loan and the interest, if you had invested that money, how much would it have become? Obviously much more than 40,000 rupees, because 40,000 would have been just your contribution, plus the interest on that would have made it 80,000 rupees in the same period, right? Because you would pay tax only back-ended, you don't pay tax on a yearly basis, right? All these would have been your advantages. And to see how compound interest works for you, there are lots of compound interest calculators, or of course you can just go and do face value, present value in Excel sheet and find out how much each of the small amounts. So maybe 70,000 rupees was a small amount for you. It would be worth at least 70 lakhs by the time you retire at the age of 65, right? So that is the power of compounding that you are missing out because of the borrowing that you have, right? But I'm not here to be judgmental and say you should never borrow. If you must borrow, there's nothing wrong, but see whether what you're borrowing for. Don't borrow for an expense which is not going to add any great value to you. So don't borrow money to go on a vacation to South Africa, right? I mean, vacation is not enough a reason to borrow. Yes, you need a break, but that break can come in Goa. That break need not come in a foreign destination. There is no logic for going to a foreign destination. Of course, I'm talking to you during a pandemic, so there are not too many options of what to do with your money. Your money is anyway going to be sleeping in the bank or in a mutual fund, doesn't really matter. And the advantage of paying cash for any of your purchases is you've paid it, you're done with it. You don't have to keep on paying on a monthly basis or quarterly basis, whatever rate at which you pay interest, right? So if you put through all these numbers, you will realize that instead of borrowing and buying the bed, if you had bought the bed with your own money, it would have been much cheaper. And the money that you would have saved on interest would have become something like 17-18 lakhs, just the interest portion. If you take the whole thing, it would be worth maybe about 50 lakhs. So look at what you're doing, look at and let's also understand that equity shares or mutual funds are for the long term. They are not meant to be broken after 3 years or 5 years. Keep it for the next 20 years and see what is the impact that it is having, right? Thank you.